In the world of football, there's one thing that causes constant debate. That is generational talents. Whether it be Pele, Maradona, Zidane, Ronaldinho, R9, Messi, CR7, there's always been a debate around who is the GOAT. And now there's probably going to be two more names added to that debate. Those names are Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland. So in today's video, I thought, why don't we take Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, and swap what they have done at club level? See what Mbappe can do playing at Molde in Norway and Borussia Dortmund, and see what Erling Haaland can do playing at Monaco and PSG. See, okay, if they followed in each other's footsteps, what would their careers end up being like? So that's what we're going to find out here today. So what I have done is I have gone in to the editor, as we can see up here, the editor is on, and I have made Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland very, very young. They're supposed to actually be 15, but as we can see here, the game decided to make them 14. So they're both going to be starting at 14 years of age, and we're going to be going until they hit the age of 30. And it's going to include the actual transfers and when it happened based on what year age-wise they were at. So we're going to see Mbappe following Erling Haaland's career and his transfers. We're going to see Erling Haaland follow Mbappe's career and his transfers. So Mbappe is going to be starting off at Bryn, and what I've also done is their attributes are what they were the first time that they were in an FM game. So, I mean, off the rip, Mbappe actually looks pretty solid, not going to lie. But due to his first move, being that of Erling Haaland's going to Molde for only 200k, he is valued pretty freaking low right now. Then we take a look at Erling Haaland, and like I said, how it was when he first entered into the FM world of things. But his transfer is only one transfer move, and that's going from Monaco to PSG. And that transfer is 159 million pounds, and it already values him pretty freaking highly, between 80 to 239 million pounds. So what we'll be doing is going in increments of when these transfers take place. And what is funny about it is that we will only get to see one move of Erling Haaland before we decide to simulate it until they hit the age of 30. But every time we check on Mbappe with his moves transfer-wise, we will also check in on Erling Haaland, see how he's doing at AS Monaco and PSG. But now with all that being said, let's see how it is a year on, as that is when Mbappe will be moving to Molde. So here we are with Mbappe at Molde, and I mean, he's already developing pretty well. A couple of these attributes are going up. One thing that I'm very curious to see is he's very, very fast in reality. Right now, even though he is only 15, which should be 16, but the game, we know, made him a year younger, but he's not as fast as he is in reality. So hopefully we can see him reach those levels, as him and Haaland still have their potential abilities of 197 and 195. But another thing that we can see already is that his value has gone up again. Now between 2 million to 6.2 million pounds. He has scored 2 goals already for Molde, being that Norway, the Norwegian league, plays at a different time than a lot of the other leagues within Europe. That's how the Scandinavian leagues do it, because how freaking cold it can get. But at Bryn, he only played 13 games, scored 2 goals, moves to Molde, 9 games, 2 goals. Let's see how Haaland's doing at Monaco so far. So Haaland is crazy fast. He is very rapid. Somehow faster than Mbappe, but I have a feeling if Mbappe can reach those speed levels that he has in reality, that he could become pretty good. But I mean, already on paper, Haaland just looks like an absolute freak of nature. And he's been playing for the Monaco 2 team, so for their second team. And in 29 games, he has 24 goals, and he's 15 years old. So he's an absolute beast, just like he is in reality. But now, next move coming up is Mbappe to RB Salzburg in 3 years. All right, so here we are at RB Salzburg. We can see that his value has gone up again, 4 million pounds to 12 million pounds, joining Dortmund in a few years' time. Actually, I think in a year's time. Yeah, exactly in a year. And we can see his physicals are starting to go up. He's starting to get that pace. But his dribbling, first touch, technique, he is absolutely fantastic. 19 off the ball. Dude is absolutely magic with the ball. 16 flair. He scored 27 goals in 83 games for Molde. So I'm guessing that he was playing more so on the wing than up top as a striker. But at RB Salzburg, he is playing as a star player on his contract. So that's pretty good. Making $16,500 per week, which is also pretty nice. He is now 18 years of age, so when he gets that move to Dortmund, he's going to be 19, and hopefully he can be an absolute stud once he gets there, and hopefully he can make an impact for RB Salzburg while he is here for that one season exactly, because he'll be leaving in January, a season on from now. All right, so now we're taking a look at Erling Haaland. His mentals are really starting to develop pretty well, and I mean, he's looking like an absolute beast still. I mean, I don't understand why he is so much quicker than Mbappe, because you would think with his size, he wouldn't really become that rapid. But I mean, as we all know in reality, dude is an absolute machine, borderline robot. And I mean, he is really developing into one heck of a player, just like he did in reality. He scored those 24 goals in 29 games for AS Monaco 2, and I guess he's been playing, it says as a French player, for the first team for AS Monaco. He has 22 goals in 50 games. So hopefully he can improve from there. He has not been an assist man whatsoever. So maybe that'll change later on in his career. I know that Mbappe has been, though, and we will take a look at the overall numbers towards the end of things. But what we're going to do now, being that the Mbappe move, yes, is in a year's time to Dortmund, but we're going to move towards the end when he is moving to Man City. And we will take a look at how he did at Salzburg and Dortmund as a whole. And by that time, Erling Haaland will also have made his move to PSG. So we will see how that goes for them, because Haaland makes his move in a season's time as well. So we will see, like I said, once Mbappe is moving on to Man City, we will see how their careers have panned out so far. But let's go ahead and skip forward. All right, so Mr. Mbappe, how is he looking at Man City? He is looking exactly how Mbappe is looking in reality. Absolutely insane. He is now up there pace-wise. I think he actually has 19 pace, if I'm not mistaken, in FM23. So he has almost reached those physical levels. I mean, he's an absolute physical unit, but 19 dribbling, 16 finishing, 17 first touch. Absolutely amazing. At Red Bull Salzburg, he had 7 goals in 17 games because he was not there for that long. And then the Dortmund move came. He had 51 goals in 102 games, so half a goal per game. I think that any Dortmund fan, especially myself, would definitely take that from him. He actually, he looks very good. I think that this version of Mbappe versus actual Mbappe could definitely give him a run for its money. I mean, value-wise, £75 million to £225 million is nuts. He's making $350K per week and still can play those front three positions. I'm surprised no one has tried to play him as a number 10. I think that he would make a killer number 10, especially with these attributes, having 15 passing, 19 technique, 16 vision, 20 off the ball. I mean, the dude's just unreal. Now we get to see Mr. Erling Haaland. How is he getting on at PSG now that he's been here for a couple years? Well, it looks like his physicals might be a tiny bit better than Mbappe's. Not like they are all green. They are all bright green. Mentals, basically all green. Technicals, I mean, he's got the holy trinity. He might as well have 20 finishing at this point. But I mean, he looks absolutely incredible. One thing that I do notice, though, his passing is lower so far than what it actually is in FM23. So that's pretty interesting right there. But in 84 games, he has 55 goals for PSG. And in 90 games, he had 54 goals for Monaco. So dude is a goal machine. He is now a star player at PSG, making less than Mbappe is at Man City. So that's interesting. But he is also wanted by Man City, which is funny because they just spent £100-something million to bring Mbappe over. So don't know how Man City has that money. But yeah, they are also wanting Erling Haaland. And if they have both of them, it's game over for everybody in Europe. But I mean, so far, doing very, very well. Both of them are. And I think that Haaland, it's very interesting because you would think he would have more goals based on how he performs in reality. And I mean, he's scored a boatload of goals for a lot of people in FM23 this year. But I guess it depends on what type of tactical systems these sides are using with him, as I'm sure he's had plenty of managers within his time between AS Monaco and PSG, being that PSG like to do the musical carousel of managers, kind of like Chelsea does. So actually, let's see who is the current manager of PSG. Bashar. He is in reality the manager of Maccabi Haifa. So that's interesting. And then he went to Lille and now PSG. So I wonder how many managers he has actually played under. But I mean, nonetheless, Erling Haaland still absolutely killing it. But now we are going to move to when both of them are 30 years old. We will recap everything over their careers, see how they've done, what awards they've won, how many trophies they've won, all the good stuff. But I am also not going to dictate where they go from here. If they want to move to Real Madrid, if Erling Haaland wants to leave PSG, go to Dortmund. If they both want to end up at Man City, can definitely happen. So we will see where they both end up by the age of 30, look over their careers, and see how everything panned out. So first up, we've got Mr. Mbappe. Where did he move to? Nowhere. He actually stayed at Man City, which I'm very, very surprised. His physicals have started to dip a little, being that he is now 30 years of age. He is not for sale, and he's now making even more money than he was the last time we looked. But 18 dribbling, 17 finishing, 17 first touch, still got that holy trinity going strong for him. 148 goals and 286 games for Man City, which is absolutely incredible. I mean, he is an absolute machine. And down here, I believe you guys can see it, 26 goals, 8 assists in the league, 9 goals, 3 assists within the Champions League, 6 goals, 2 assists in the FA Cup, 41 goals on the year with 13 assists. So I am guessing they're playing him up top if he is going to have that big of a difference between goals and assists. But now we are looking at all of his overall info. Total transfer value paid for him, £203 million. He's played 501 games, 235 goals, 102 assists, 129 player of the match performances, and an average rating of a 7.58, which he actually averaged in this most recent season. And I mean, looking at it, he's been fairly solid. I mean, within the league, it looks like below 30 goals is the standard within the league. 26 goals is the highest now as this most recent season. But overall, he had 43 this season. He had only 26 last season, 28 the season before, 24, 26, 25, 27, 20, 23, 28, 19, 9, 6, it looks like, and that was all international goals. 16, 19, 14, and 2. So never really blowing anyone away numbers-wise except for this season, his 30-year-old season, when he scored 43, which is pretty impressive. And assist-wise, pretty consistent as well, always double digits basically. And I think his career is a little bit of a letdown, honestly. I would expect him to score more. I mean, he's basically he's scoring under a goal per game, and I would think that he would just outright dominate, especially looking at his attributes. He should be outright dominating. So I think with all of this change, it may have affected him, meaning that he had to continuously adapt to new systems. So maybe that is why. Because I'm sure playing at Man City for all these years, he's had a couple different managers. So I think that I feel I expected a little bit more from Mbappe, not going to lie, especially, like I said, looking at his attributes. And you look at the amount of goals he's putting up. I mean, 43 in this season and only 26 in the league. You would kind of hope when you're paying someone, what is it, £400,000 per week, and his attributes look like this, that he can do a little bit more than that. Yes, 41 goals this season in 52 games, 56 actually, if you include the bench appearances. But I mean, you kind of hope for a little bit more, you know? But competitions-wise, I wanted to see how many league titles and cups he's won. It looks like they just most recently did a double. They also won the Community Shield, Club World Championship, Premier League there, Carabao Cup, Super Cup runners-up, Champions League winners. So he's got some Champions Leagues to his name. Let's look at Dortmund. Europa League, he won the Europa League. He was a runner-up in the DFB Pokal. They won the Euros with France, which is pretty good. He won the league when he was at Molde, which, surprise, surprise, they're pretty good. And then he had Mbappe into the mix. Of course they're going to win the league. But he won it back-to-back before getting his move. So even there, I kind of feel like, of course at Man City he's going to win things. And then Dortmund, he won the Europa League, which is good. Runner-up in the DFB Pokal. But, I mean, Man City's where he's gotten basically all of his success. And, I mean, when you get to play with the players that you probably get to play with at Man City in the future, of course you're going to succeed. All right, so now we're on to Mr. Erling Haaland. How did the end of his career pan out? It pains me for what team he has gone to, because if this actually happened in reality, he would break a lot of people's hearts. He went to Bayern Munich. Why he went to Bayern Munich, I don't know. But he left PSG for Bayern. In 135 games, he has scored 83 goals for him this most recent season. 22 goals in 45 games total. His physicals are keeping up way better than Mbappe's have. Mbappe's already dropped off speed-wise. And they are the same age. I mean, Holy Trinity's still intact. He never got better at passing, which is interesting. So he really wasn't an assist guy. I mean, he only had 6 assists this season. And mentally, he is very, very good still. 18 off the ball, 18 composure. I mean, he gets in front of the net. He is most likely scoring and putting it away. I mean, he's also not for sale, but he's making less than Mbappe. Let's see how he has done career-wise, goal-wise. He has scored much more than Mbappe and played less games. 442 games, 288 goals, 49 assists, 43 player of the match performances, 7.43 average rating. So his average rating's lower. I believe assists are also lower. But 288 goals and 442 appearances. That is a much better ratio than what Mbappe had. And I think that, honestly, he played for less managers, or you would think, but had to adapt to less systems potentially than Mbappe did, going from team to team to team. So that may have played into that, with him just being able to get used to a system and capitalize on it. I mean, at AS Monaco, if we want to take those 24 goals away, we can, but he still would have scored more than Mbappe did. And he had those 24 goals in his first year. Then he only had 7 the next, 12 overall in the next, 20, 30, 27, 33, 28, 18, 33, 31, 17, 18, 29, 26, 28, 23. So he's fairly consistent, but it's interesting that he never hit 40 in a season, because we all know how good he can be, and he never hit 40 in a season. The highest was that 33 in 28-29, I believe, and he did it again in 31-32. Yeah, and then the next highest after that was 31 goals, I believe. So, I mean, he scored more goals in less games, and you look at it, he definitely, I mean, he's a physical monster. but he's getting paid less than Mbappe, scores more than Mbappe, and in less games. So that's very interesting. I'm not sure whether to be, because I mean, you kind of expect him, not Mbappe, Haaland to score more than Mbappe, of course, but kind of a letdown from both of them. You know what I mean? You would think that they would score more, or especially Haaland were to score more, but he did end up scoring more than Mbappe. Let's look at his milestones, and we look at competitions. Of course, he's going to be winning the league because he's at frickin' Bayern Munich. Then PSG, of course, he's going to be winning the league because he's at PSG. Champions League winners right there. DFB Pokal runners up. Let's look for some more. I mean, he was basically sweeping everything with PSG. He won the league with PSG in 2026. So only a couple years in, and he was able to win the league with Monaco and Champions League runners up as well that the following year. That year, I believe it was. So I mean, he has definitely won a lot of trophies, but doing that with Monaco, very impressive. Don't get me wrong, Mbappe was impressive winning the Europa League with Borussia Dortmund, but I mean, winning the league off of PSG, very impressive, and also getting a Champions League runners up as well. So all in all, who won this duel? Who had the better career in the other person's shoes? I would say Erling Haaland did. I definitely think that Erling Haaland goal scoring wise, he definitely did. But I mean, just achievement wise as well. I mean, winning that league with AS Monaco over PSG, getting to the Champions League final, unfortunately not winning it with AS Monaco, that was pretty impressive. And I mean, of course, while he's at PSG and Bayern Munich, he's going to win everything. But it was the same thing for Mbappe. He ended up winning everything when he was at Man City. But he did win that Europa League with Dortmund, so we can take that into account as well. But I mean, head to head, definitely think that Erling Haaland takes this one. But if you guys want to see more videos like this, comment down below some players that you would like to see me do, kind of simulate their careers, whether they be current players or legends of the game, and I create them and put them in. Really enjoyed doing this. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Like I said, if you guys want to see me do this some more, just comment some names down below and I can definitely see to it. But until next time, have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.